Great Britain, but as you've heard me say in the previous game that I called, as they get a quick shot on net, on Zarnet. It's been a rough road for them. They haven't scored a goal. They have been beaten soundly in all 3 games, but as I've mentioned before, it's a developing program. It's obviously their first time in the Legends division. It's everybody's first time, but they just are not a powerhouse nation like Canada, right? So I think they know what they're up against. I don't think they have any delusions, but you never know what can happen, right? That's why they play the game. So I know they're excited to play. Canada obviously is not going to take them lightly. They're going to want to form good habits. Try and get up ahead early as Joey D'Amico here takes the ball. And just do what they've been doing all tournament, which is get out early, start with their foot on the gas, put teams in a deficit. The only team really in the quarterfinals that hung with them throughout the first 2 periods was Italy, who kept it 1-0 until about, I believe there was about 9 minutes left in the third, and then Canada poured it on and ended up winning that game 6-0. So for Canada, just continue to build good habits, right? For Great Britain, play the best defensive hockey you can. Try to minimize scoring opportunities as Trammell walks in, pass it off, shot, Canada gets on the board. Hall of Famer Sandro Morello, number 35. Assistant captain for this team, puts Canada up first. It's a good shift for Great Britain, though. They actually got the first shot on goal on Zarnet. All around that, still a good shift. Listen, folks, I don't think anyone has any delusions about the talent, differential between these 2 teams. All of that said, right, you're Britain, you're still a developing program, try and build good habits, right? Good, fundamentally sound hockey. Don't get discouraged, which they haven't been all week, even though they've been up against teams that have a lot more experience in the sport. They have competed to the last minute. And I know that they're honored to be here, as we are honored to have them. As Canada takes a long shot in from the point. Centering attempt intercepted by Great Britain, but picked back up by Canada. Shot scored, Jeremy Bishop. Another assistant captain makes it 2-0. So starting in net for Great Britain, Walter Samek. For each game, Great Britain has split goaltending duties, and obviously, again, given the talent differential, they have 2 netminders here, Darren Elliott and Walter Samek. There's no goalie in the world that could play an entire game when you're facing, the amount of shot attempts they are. And again, I'm just trying to call it as it is, so that's the right thing to do. So I'd expect to see Elliott at some point. Great Britain gets the ball in deep. Canada picks it up. That was Rob Page in on the forecheck, assistant captain for Great Britain. As Shane Terry goes around Brooks, number 37. Oh, good save by Samek. Brooks has it. Can't get it off of his stick, though. Molaschuk has it. Down low. Good work there by Page. Brooks now along the board, trying to keep Molaschuk circling. He drops it off. Shot ends up in the back of the net. So that goal is going to go to number 7, Donnie Goss. Another good shift, though, for Great Britain. They're keeping Canada to the outside, right? So when we talk about building fundamentally sound hockey, again, it's a developing program, right? These players have not played their entire lives, like literally everybody else in the tournament has. So it's good to see fundamentally sound hockey, right? Body positioning, keep your feet moving. Don't be caught ball watching. Cormier has it now. And just learn how to hang you know, when you are outmatched. Even though this is Legends division, right, there's always room for improvement, right? And nobody ever plays a perfect hockey game. There's no perfect hockey player. You know, and don't know how many of these gentlemen will be back in 2 years, 2026. You know, I imagine a good majority of them will, right? So just build good habits. I see, and that's what I'm talking about, right? So Francis for Great Britain steps in front of the shot, deflects it all the way up into the mesh netting. We'll get a face up there, so good job for Neil Francis. I see Quinn, Honore, Page coming out for Great Britain. Intercepted by Great Britain. Good poke check. Canada picks it back up. Shot. Turnaround. Save. That was a good save there by Samek. And then, again, talking about good habits, right? So, nice job getting the stick there on the rebound effort. Trying to see the numbers. I'll make floor level here, folks, sitting in the penalty box. So, it's just more difficult for me to see numbers than when I'm normally up having a bird's eye view. But that's number 19, David Willis. Did a good job there getting the stick on the rebound effort, forcing the shot up high into the netting. Great Britain looking to get the clear, gets out of the zone, good job. Quinn there, working with Page. Canada manages to stick check it away. Good physical work there on the part of Jay. Giving White from Canada the business. There you go. That's what we talk about, right? Good, fundamentally sound hockey. That's good body work there along the boards, making sure White doesn't get a break into his own zone. Those are types of habits you want to build when you're new to a sport like ball hockey. You can carry those things forward. All right, so Canada takes it back. So Great Britain there in a 1-2-2 forecheck. Obviously, Canada knows how to neutralize any type of forechecking system, right? All of these players have played in every possible system there is. As number 95 for Canada puts that one in the back of the net, Dominic Baudin. He's been one of their studs this week. He normally plays with Brock Harrison, but yesterday late in the game, Harrison, I believe, stepped on a stick and just rolled his ankle in an awkward way. So I haven't seen him on the floor yet, and I'm going to see if I can peek into the Canadian bench and see if he's dressed for this game or if they're just letting him rest his ankle, because it was pretty swollen after the game. Yeah, so he is dressed, you know, but they may just be resting him. He has certainly been, you know, one of their top 5 players. Brock Harrison, probably the fastest player in the tournament, as Trammell puts one in the back of the net to make it 5-0. So things like that for the fans back in Great Britain watching back home, right? You know, you want to know how you stop plays like that, right? So a lot of that has to do with keeping your feet moving. Okay, so if you saw what happened there, the way the ball came clean across through the crease, right, to an open player, that's what we call ball watching, right, or in ice hockey, puck watching. So whoever's man that was, that's streaked in for Canada, right? Got to make sure if you're on defense, right, that you're running with them. Don't give open passing lanes. So Great Britain takes possession. That was the captain, number 29, Neil Francis. And now Francis with it. Francis looking to turn on the Jets. Stymied though, and now Bishop's coming in all alone. So it's a defensive breakdown. It happens, right? But a good save by Samek. Stone and Bishop. But then Shane Terry comes in all alone and puts it in the back of the net. So, you know, like, how does that play happen, right? So part of it has to do with ball watching, right? But part of it just has to do with, you know, inexperience against working against systems that Canadian players are using to execute, right? So that's a set breakout play for Canada. You know, Bishop probably done that play 10,000 times in his life. You know, he knows exactly where to be on the floor. And unless you're used to playing against teams that have executed that type of play, again, if you're watching back home, it's just tough to stop, right? It would, you know, make the equivalent, you know, for, I'm an American, right? We're just not very good at European football, or as we call it, soccer, right? So if you were to take, you know, people from America who've not played high-level European football and then put them right in the Premier League, this is basically the equivalent, right? You guys would make us look like fools. We just don't know the systems, right? We haven't practiced against it. We don't understand it. So, you know, so part of it has to do with inexperience, but a lot of it has to do with the systems, right? These players have just repetition after repetition have done this, you know, thousands and thousands of times. So it's not that Great Britain made a mistake letting Bishop walk in all alone. It's the system, right? You're not used to defending against it. Bishop knows how to execute it. It's a set play, and that happens. So it's not necessarily anyone's fault. We get a face-off here, 5:22 remaining. Canada up 6-0. Doucet with it along the boards. So this is a cycle, right? You see how Doucet went to the front of the net, but good job on the part of number 37 there, Matt Brooks for Great Britain, right? He stayed with Doucet, prevented the cycle from leading to a scoring opportunity. So now Malashchuk is going to take this back down behind the net. And going to walk it in, right? There's a pass. Scoring attempt. Shot went wide. And part of that has to do with, you know, number 74, Mike Lee, right? He just didn't have the right body position on Malashchuk there. You know, you want to be a little bit more closer to the bottom boards than you are to the sideboards to prevent players from doing what Malashchuk did. And again, that's just a learning experience, you know. Next time he'll be better at that. Shot, good save, Samek. Great Britain looking to get a clear here. Nice move there by number 89, Lee Barrett. He's trying to get it in deep, I believe, but again, you know, Malashchuk has seen people try to make that move on him 1,000 times, so he knows how to defend against it. But good work there along the boards. Number 86, Russ Cobb. And that's going to be a flooring, so that's a mental mistake on the part of Canada. And that's what they don't want to do, right? So, again, I'm trying to be honest with the viewing, you know, the fans viewing at home. For Great Britain to win this, it would be, you know, just an upset of historic proportions, right? I don't think anyone would place money on that. You know, but that said, conversely, if you're Canada, right? Don't start forming bad habits just because you're playing against an opponent that you have a lot more experience against, and on paper you are, you know, the much more talented team. Take good habits, because your next game, right, which would be a semifinal to get into the gold medal game, you want to have nothing but good habits going into that game, right? As Drake walks in all alone here, shot goes into the back of the net by Gambin. So, you know, that's another set play, right? There's nothing that Great Britain did wrong there. You know, Gambin just found the open spot on the floor based on where Drake took the ball, and, you know, Samek, there's nothing he could do on it. That's a perfect example of how things just come with experience, right? There's no goalie in the world that's going to save a play like that, right? I mean, you could put an NHL netminder in there. It's an empty net, so it's not Samek's fault. You know, but we talk about bad habits. Conversely, for Canada, right? So we talk about setting good habits. That's a good habit, right? So Drake and Gambin do something good there. Ball ends up in the back of the net as it comes off the stick onto the captain, Cormier. Back to Joey D'Amico. Been playing well all week. D'Amico, part of that 2023 gold medal winning team at the Buffalo Masters event. Over to Drake. First shot goes wide. Back to Cormier. So good body work there on the part of Wood, keeping Cormier hemmed in along the boards. good, fundamentally sound hockey right there. Drake now with it. Back to Cormier. Down low. Ball goes into the corner. Great Britain could have a chance to clear this. Got to take the lob out. And it does get out. So D'Amico can't keep it in at the point. Is able to outrun George. Boy, here's a last name for you. Similar to mine. This looks like a Polish name. Bracalo. Yes, that's Polish because it's a silent J. So George Bracalo. My last name's Bakanowicz, so I know how frustrating it is when people mispronounce your last name. But D'Amico outran Bracalo to get to that ball. And that guy, Page, just literally rammed the board where I am in, but he does not appear to be hurt. I'll tell you, Page has been playing well for Great Britain. He's been one of their better players, assistant captain. Very smart hockey player. Corbet with it, shot, ends up in the back of the net. And that's another one of those set plays, right, where if you haven't seen it before, it's just tough to defend against. It is. See if we see this on the replay here, right? You had 3 Great Britain players collapsing down on Corbet, and that's just not what you want to see, right? So you don't ever want to put yourself in a position where you're basically forcing 3 of your defenders to collapse down on one attacker, because that's going to leave people open, right? So I'm sure you guys follow European football. I don't know the first thing about strategy in European football, but I know the concept is similar, right? That you got to put a ball in a net, and you don't want to have multiple defenders on one attacker because they're going to leave other attackers open, right? So the concept is similar. So ball's hemmed in along. Shot, good save, Samek. Last minute of play in the first period. Down low. Good body positioning there. Shot, deflected wide. That's good. Again, good sound hockey there on the part of Great Britain. But there's a man open down low, right? So that's a defensive breakdown now. Leads to a pass. Good save by Samek, but yeah, I mean, you see how Baudin's all alone down there, and he just has an open lane to pass to, right? You look at the replay here. Can't have that, okay? So that's one of the things for you young fans at home. You know, maybe your kids with some of the men out here playing, right? You're saying, boy, what's going on with my dad's team? It's just things you got to learn, right? So if you decide to get into hockey, you always hear your coaches saying, right? You know, take a man, find a man. Where's your man? That's what they're talking about. Wraparound attempt ends up in the back of the net. And that is Trammell, I believe. It is Claude Trammell. So 24.7 seconds left. So I can tell you, you know, from the goal for us at the ISBHF, right, we don't want teams like Great Britain playing Canada, right? It's not good for Canada. It's not good for Great Britain. It's not good for you fans at home. It's not good for the fans in attendance, right? We would prefer to have a B division. We are actively working to try and get more member nations to send teams so that Great Britain has people to compete against of an equal skill, right? Just like we have in the men's open division, we have an A division and a B pool. So that should do it as Page picks it up here. 9-0 Canada, end of the first. All right, 5-minute break. We'll see you back here, start of the second period.
Carney Dillon, BC Legends. So yeah, so far the tournament's been fantastic. Team's going into the quarterfinals, feeling good. Lots of healthy bodies, and we're ready to go. So we're excited to play for the quarterfinals and beyond. So it's been a great tournament so far, and we look forward to continuing our quest for the championship. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Russ Cobb. I play for Great Britain Legends men's team. We're having a fun tournament where our results haven't been what we hoped for, but we've had some tough games against some really good teams. Slovakia to start with, we lost 19-0 to them. Next up, we played Team Canada Alberta. They're the host city team. We kept them at bay for the first 8 minutes. We were really proud of that. They didn't score, and then it went a little downhill from there, but we ended up losing 20-0 there. And then this afternoon we played Team BC, Canada. They're the national champions here. We started off not so well, but we kept going. Final score there was 20-0. Again, but I think we had a lot more offensive chances that last game, and so we're going to try to build on that for the playoffs tomorrow. We were playing 1 o'clock against Team Canada. It's going to be another tough game, so it's the quarterfinals. So we're looking forward to it. We're having a good time though. Everybody's getting along. Nobody's down. Nobody's negative. We're having fun.
Have a great tournament.
Thank you.
Elio Pascuzzo, president of the International Street and Ball Hockey Federation, with an update on the 2024 World Legends Championships in Edmonton, Alberta. Preliminary round action is wrapping up, and it's been a great first couple of days of action. Some exciting games. We've had an overtime game. We've also had some really close games. Some teams like Canada and Canada British Columbia off to a good start, but there's
Nothing, barring a miracle, Canada's going to win this game. really it just comes down to no bad habits, right? So it's not a question of taking your foot off the gas or anything like that. It's a question of, play good, fundamentally sound hockey and don't let bad habits creep in, because they know that their next game is not going to be like this, right? It's going to be against, a different type caliber opponent. So expect to see Canada, do more of the same, be strong on the back check, right? And just don't let bad habits form. And I think all the coaches can appreciate that are listening, right? Because all it takes really is one bad shift for bad habits to form, and then it can become contagious. It's like the norovirus in a locker room. People see a player doing this. Oh, let me try doing this. You start getting cute, and next thing you know, right? You just have bad habititis, as I like to call it. But listen, it's Team Canada. These guys at this age, they all know how to win. So I don't expect that to happen. I don't expect to see anything crazy. Just Canada continue to do more of the same here. Great Britain, had a chance to walk down their end during the intermission, listen to what they were talking about. I mean, they're in high spirits. They know what they're up against. They're not getting discouraged. As Canada walks it in here, shot goes in. I believe that was number 66 scored, Scott Drake. Getting back to Brock Harrison, I mentioned earlier in the first period, not see him on the floor. He's a healthy scratch today. I'm going to make a wild guess that had something to do with that ankle issue that happened yesterday where he might have stepped on a stick. At the Legends age, coach is kind of joking, maintenance day, right? I'm in the Legends age myself, and if anyone who's ever called a hockey game understands what a maintenance day means, believe me, boys and girls, it's me. All right, so Willis misplayed the ball there. Needs to be a little bit stronger on the stick on the backhand. Now he gets it out. Canada intercepts over to Drake. Over to Corbet. Corbet with a little bit of space, but drops it off. Nobody's there, so a mental mistake on his part. I think he expected Rudnicki to rotate back towards the near boards, but Rudnicki was thinking something else, but neither here nor there. As Samek forces that shot wide. That's all right. I like Samek, man. I like Elliott too. I just appreciate, while he's in net, a chance to pump his tires. I just like the way he plays goal, he's very good at tracking the ball. He doesn't give shooters good angles to shoot at. As a goaltender myself, when we talk about angles, right, some people joke 99% of goaltending is just angles, right? But maintaining your positioning in terms of being square to the shooter, tracking the ball, and keeping the ball at your center line, right? So when you go to stop a shot, you don't want to be looking at where the player is, right? You look at where the ball is, and you position your ball. You position your body relative to where the ball is coming off the player's stick. And Samek is good at that, as is Elliott. Listen, all the goaltenders here, right? The World Championships, they're all good at it, or they wouldn't be here. I've just noticed that where he lacks in other areas, he more than makes up for in being very strong with his angles. And I can see that here from being down on the floor, which is one of the advantages of being down on the floor as opposed to being up in a bird box. Dumped in by Canada, broke it up by Great Britain. Chance to poke it out. Good look there by Quinn, but Goss was able to keep that in at the point. So Great Britain doing a really good job here, staying with their man. You notice Canada hasn't had any tic-tac-toe plays. Down low, centering attempt, there you go. See, that's good, fundamentally sound hockey, right? That's what happens, or you kids back home, when your coaches tell you, stay with your man, that's why. Player makes a pass, you're with the man, boom, you chop it out, now Canada has to reset. with it, looking to gain the line, does, over to Beatty. And Beatty just took a slash on the foot, was hopping there. It's inadvertent, no penalty there, good hockey. Although, I note, you know, very few slashes are advertent as opposed to inadvertent. I've never met a hockey player who says, oh yeah, I meant to slash the guy when they're sitting in the penalty box. Oh, good save by Samek. 99% of the slashes, right, when they, you know, people get called for it. It's just because, you know, they're trying to break up a play. Simple as that. So, up to Bishop. Bishop trying to make a move, wheel and deal. Francis unable to get back to his man there, but Bishop was a little errant on the pass. Over to Lulic, turnaround shot. Ho, ho, ho! Right into the trapper of Samek, and he gets a round of applause from Team Canada. And I'll tell you, good sportsmanship here, you know, all around here. When Samek was walking over from the intermission to his net, literally every player to a man came over and tapped him on the pads, you know, and saying, hey, keep your head up, great job. You know, good work, netminder. Love to see good sportsmanship here. Ball misplayed over to Paget. Oh, misplayed again to D'Amico. And misplayed again. Well, talk about bad habits, right? I'm not saying that those are bad habits, but like that's the kind of stuff you don't want to creep in, right? You pick your head up before you know you have full control of the ball. As Bishop puts that in the back of the net. Just a nice short side attempt here. Take a look at that on the rebound. It's only the first game of the day. I'm already tripping over my tongue. On the replay. Well, that replay was a little short. Didn't show the whole thing. Maybe we'll get a look from the goal cam. And that replay is a little short. Well, what happened was Bishop just made a good play, managed to get a little bit of separation, and at this level, that's all it takes. Throw it into the short side. So Trammell walking in, makes a move, good save, Samek. Over to Bishop, back, shot, score. So it's tic-tac-toe, Lulic to Bishop. After Trammell walked in all alone. And we are going to get our goaltender change. So Samek comes out. In comes Elliott. I'm going to give him a round of applause myself. Everybody cheering. Everybody on Team Canada. As Paul Zarnett comes over to give him a tap on the shoulder, and Zarnett's going to come out himself. Made a couple of saves, and in comes Darren Lodge. Nice clean win there by Honore off the face-off. Taken up by Great Britain. Cobb has it. Cobb, chance to get it on net. Over to Honore. Page dumps it in, just shot wide. Rudnicki with it behind the net. Interesting story about Matt Rudnicki, number 44. So back in 2016 at the World Masters Championship in Banff, Alberta, that was actually the first ISBHF World Championship I was able to do play-by-play. He was a part of the gold medal winning Toronto Wolfpack, and he scored the game-winning goal in overtime in a goaltending duel. It was 2-1. Aaron Campazano was in net for the Toronto Wolfpack. It's a really fun tournament. I'll tell you, Banff's a beautiful town, but that was my first time calling a gold medal scoring game. And obviously Rudnicki's a Polish name. I'm Polish myself, Konowitz. But he basically unleashed an absolute bomb from, just outside the blue line through traffic, and it was just one of those shots that had eyes. I can't remember the Canadian netminder who let it in, but it was an upset. I mean, that Team Canada team was loaded, but the Wolfpack, the one thing they had going for them was they had all played together for years. I mean, they were a Masters level club that the guys just knew each other. I mean, they were just like a family, a brotherhood. And it was just such an exciting game to call. But yeah, the point being, getting a little long-winded here. Rudnicki is absolute howitzer from inside the blue line, and just another member of Team Canada that knows how to win. Nothing here, approaching the 5-minute mark. So Rudnicki's going to go out for a change. Out for him comes Donnie Goss. Over to Beatty. Beatty looking to gain the line. Does. Over to the captain, Cormier. Off of a foot, but over to Goss. Great Britain's got nobody there, so Goss has nothing but net to look at. Shot went high. Elliott makes the initial save. Rebound goes over the crossbar. Shot blocked. Canada just working the ball down low, patient, trying to get a good cycle going here. Great Britain staying with their man, not giving him a shooting lane. It's good, solid defense, and just a misplayed ball there. So Goss has to go all the way back as Great Britain's going to get some fresh line changes on the long change. It looks like number 67, Mort, for Great Britain, is wincing as he come off. I don't know if he rolled his ankle or something there. As Canada puts the ball in the back of the net to make it 13-0. Watch the replay here, see what happens. And, it's just a great shooter, right, making a shot. Nothing Elliott could do. So the Hall of Famers, class of 2013, Sandro Morello, 4-time gold medalist for Team Canada during that epic run from 2001 to 2007's out there. Some other medals to his name as well. Just one of those people that, nobody has a bad word to say about the guy. Just humble, quiet, leads by example. And I mean, we talk about a guy that knows what it takes to win. We're talking about Sandro Morello. Ball sent in deep, redirected by Morello, but he's going to go back and let Terry take over the forecheck here. Kept in at the point by Goss. Goss bodied off the play by Quinn. Good job there by Quinn. Wins the battle back to his defense. Pass a little too far. Great Britain behind the net. High lob pass intercepted. So that's just not high enough, right? That's the problem with that play. If you're going to lob it out, you got to make sure that the arc of the lob, right, clears the red line. Because otherwise, what you're going to see what happened there, or generally defensemen tend to be taller. Not saying they have, 48-inch vertical leaps like Randy Moss, but a lot of them, even at this age, can jump very high, and they'll be able to keep it in right at the red line. So for all you young kids at home, if you're going to go with a lob from behind the net, make sure that the arc of your lob is going to clear the red line, right, by about 10 feet. And then for all you coaches at home that are going to sit there and argue semantics with me, listen, I'm doing the best I can to try and keep the game entertaining. What do you want from me? I'm not a hockey coach. I'm just telling you what I've been coached. It's 11 feet, 12 feet, whatever. Point being, make sure you're good at your lob and that you get it past the red line, right? Canada working the ball here. And I got to commend Great Britain. I mean, they're doing a good job staying with their man, right? This is improvement from when they first started out. Believe me. Elliott waffled that one aside. Centering attempt onto stick of Great Britain. Looking to gain the red line is Quinn. He does. Passes it off. He's trying to get Page, but not there. So Great Britain's going to caught in a change here. Well, so I'm going to pull my first John Madden of the day and state the obvious. You can't have bad line changes against good teams. Obviously, Great Britain knows they messed up. They're not yelling at each other, but trying to just correct each other on the bench. I'll use my fake British accent. Just, right, guys, when you're going off for a line change, right, situational awareness, make sure you know who you got and who from the opposing team is out there, because Canada had 2 people sitting at the blue line, and you had all 5 guys coming off for a change. So Blue Leech misses the net top shelf. Yeah, it's just a mental error. It happens. Picked up by Paget, down low, over to Paget, blocked by Elliott, picked up by Great Britain. Kick towards the boards, trying to get it centered out, intercepted by Lulic. Back to Paget. Paget got all the room in the world. They got to collapse down here. A little too late on the collapsing. Good save by Elliott. So it comes all the way out to the red line. Joey D'Amico giving the player space. Long shot. I thought I had some mustard on it. And Great Britain doesn't have numbers on the front of their shorts, so it's hard for me to see until they turn around or at least get to the side. So that was number 89, Lee Barrett, that unleashed that nice, nasty wrist shot. That Lodge handled, but man, he peppered him. A heck of a wrist shot. So next game coming up here will be Canada, British Columbia Legends against the United States. The United States has had a rough tournament. They are 0-3, the number 7 seed. It's just been one of those tournaments where they have just not gotten bounces. It's certainly not been for lack of effort. I mean, they're running hard. They're playing hard, they're battling, but they're up 5-2 against Portugal. Portugal got a couple of, good bounces went their way, tied the game, ended up winning it 6-5 on that absolute laser beam from Hall of Famer Tony Montero. Then they played Canada and just fell apart at the seams, losing 6-1. And then against Italy, it was a back and forth affair. They went down 1-0, ended up taking the lead 2-1. Then it was 2-2, and then 3-2, and then 3-3, right, 4-3, and then it was 4-4. And then the United States just tied it. Italy, gets what proved to be the game winner at 5-4. They added a couple of empty netters, man. It's just been a tough go for the United States. So I'm interested to see how they react, right? I mean, it's the United States, right? I'm an American myself. We're known for not quitting. I expect them to come out, guns blazing, baby, right? And for Canada BC Legends, I'm sure they know that. They're the number 2 seed. So it'll be interesting to see how that one shakes out. All right, there is 4 minutes left. We'll see you back here in 4 minutes.
Hi, my name is Brock Harrison, number 81 with Team Canada. This is my first time ever playing with Team Canada, so I'm pretty excited about that. In the past, my local team has won our national tournament, So we've got to go to the World Championships in Czech Republic and in Buffalo with Team Saskatchewan. So that's the team that I played with at Worlds. We won bronze our first year, and last year in Buffalo we finished 4th place. So so far in this tournament, things are going good. We had 2 games today. We won both of them, so it was a nice start to the tournament. We're looking to build on that and just get better every game with a lot of new guys on this team and never played together. You're just trying to get better every game. So hopefully that works for us and we get better every day, and we'll see what happens at the end of the week.
How did the game go today? How was your team?
Today the game went good. I feel like we started a lot stronger than our morning game. So the USA goalie played really good. We had a lot of shots in the first period, and he kept them in it. And then we just picked away, and we played good. Defensively, we were good. We moved the ball up pretty good.
That's why coaches yell at you. And even in the women's division, Terry will tell you that. Coaches yell at you all the time. Stay with your woman. Perfect example why. All right, so face off to the left of Elliott, who came in as usual in relief of Samek, who when Elliott starts, Samek comes in relief. In net for Canada is Darren Lodge, who came in relief of Paul Zarnett. And if you want live scoring in effect, you can always get it at stats.isbhf.com. Poke checked away, almost out of play, but intercepted. So opportunity here. All right, well, that player was a little gassed. That was number 2 for Great Britain. That is my fellow Polish person, George Bricalo, who dumped that in and went off for a change. Smart move by Mr. Bricalo. All right, so sent in down low by Canada. Great Britain battle behind the net, takes possession of it, lobbed it out, chased by Quinn, but he's beaten to it by Goss. And Beattie picks it up for Canada right here beneath me, so I'll need to lean back for that. Shot, I believe, that never made it through to Elliott. .920 remaining, 15-0 Canada. And again, Great Britain's playing well, right? Like, listen, let's just call it what it is. Canada is obviously the more talented team. They're more talented, you know, than all the other teams here. Not just Great Britain. That's why they're the #1 seed, and they've looked like the powerhouse team that they are on paper. So for Great Britain, this is improvement. Now, to be proud of themselves. They're hanging with the #1 team in the world right now. 15-0. Playing good, fundamentally sound hockey, and you know, keep it up till the final whistle, right? That is lobbed out of the zone. And we're going to get a whistle here. Oh, looked like it was pinned between Elliott and the pipe. All the way up. That's, yeah. So again, going back to what I said in the first period, when we talk about defensive breakdowns, right, and why it's important to have your man. So there's another and I'm talking to people who are not familiar with ball hockey. There's another concept, you know, called gaps, or some people call it spacing. So if you're looking at where the Great Britain defenseman had his stick in position to the Canadian player, right, his gap was off. He was too far away. So he needed to take another step forward to be able to get his stick into the shooting lane to prevent that one-timer. But again, that will come with experience. All right, Canada working it back here. Oh, I don't think Elliott saw that one. And Termel just put it right in on his foot. 7:39 remaining. Yeah, I don't think he saw that based on the replay there. Well, hey, you always hear me say, better lucky than good. Yeah, what? Canada patient with the ball. Back to Rudnicki. Gold medal game-winning goal scorer, 2016 Masters for Toronto Wolfpack. Ball slides back behind the net, over to Bishop. Back behind the net. Well, that's a defensive breakdown, right? So you can't leave players just sitting all alone like that. Give Bishop space. Over to the far boards to Lulic. And Bishop feeds Corbell, and Corbell just puts that in the back of the net. So let's get Terry Milby's thoughts on Great Britain's performance, right, for this game. So ultimately, it's improvement so far. I feel like they played better. Terry, would you concur Great Britain has shown improvement?
I concur.
That's all you have to say for the fans at home?
I'm not a good color commentary person, I'm sorry.
Okay, let me make the question easy for you, right? For the young fans at home that are watching, obviously Great Britain has a long way to go. They're a new ball hockey nation, right? What advice would you have for the young kids watching at home?
I would say don't give up. At least the team is good spirit. They are doing their best. They're playing against the best team in the country for years. And, I mean, they're still going and they're still trying and they're not giving up. And I think that's really important for anybody. Don't get down on yourself. Just keep trying.
That's it. There you go, folks. From the amazing Terry Milby. That's one of the themes I've been saying, right? Keep your head up. Don't get down on yourself. Look at that. Guy's still battling there, right? 17-0. He's going down on the butterfly, making good glove saves, man. You know, can't say enough good things about the job Elliott and Samek have done. Looks like Great Britain sends out Wood for Honore. Good save by Elliott, trying to wrap that one up. Ref giving him a late whistle there. Boy, again, not going to criticize the refs, right? You heard me say, every tournament I do play-by-play, they got the hardest job in the tournament. I will tell you as a goaltender, if that was me, I would be giving the ref the business. That felt like a late whistle, but trying to keep things light here, folks. As Terry Milby just took a very nice shot of number 7 for Canada, Donnie Goss, having a good conversation with the referee. Caught them smiling there. That's why she's the best in the business, folks. Terry said she should start paying me royalties for doing the free promo. Listen, I just like people. I'm the promotions director for the ISBHF, so for me, my job is all about promoting the game, and in order to do that, I need people that I can work with. And I'm not saying this because Terry's American and I'm American. I'm just saying from a professional perspective at the Masters, she was super easy to work with. We had the pictures every day. For those of you that follow us on social media, you saw the photo dumps we got. I mean, it was all thanks to Terry. So she just does great work, that's all. Not trying to pump her tires and say she's better than anybody else. She's just super easy to work with and an outstanding human being. As one of the referees comes over to the box and is almost willing to provide color commentating, but we're going to give him a pass on this one. He smiles and nods at me. All right, ready for the draw here. I would call this a big draw, but it's 17-0. Nonetheless, work on your fundamentals, right? If you're Canada, every draw counts, man. Every draw for them, Great Britain, and all the other teams. It's an opportunity to improve. Always take it serious, okay? Centering attempt, shot. I believe Elliott got a piece of that. Down to the butterfly off his right pad. Back to the point, over to Goss. Goss, head up, trying to dump it in softly down low. He does. Back behind the net goes Beatty. Shot, good save, Elliott. Comes out, cuts down the angle. That's what you want to see. That shot came off the stick of number 66, Scott Drake. Looked like he was trying to go between the glove and the rib cage there. Don't believe he was trying to go 5-hole. Since I'm speaking, I know a lot of people from Great Britain are watching that maybe don't have a lot of experience when we talk about 5-hole. In hockey lingo, the area of the nets is divided in basically into 5 spots that we refer to as holes, okay? So if you're looking at the goalie, okay, at the top right, that's the 1 hole. Then the bottom right is the 2 hole. The top left is the 3 hole. Bottom left is the 4 hole. And then the middle between the goaltender's leg pads, that's the 5 hole, okay? Now there are some other, you could get scientific into this right now. There's a lot of analytic geeks that have added additional holes, and they try and track and everything. But it started out with 5 basic holes. So the other potential holes, are these 6, 7, 8 holes, right? So 7 would be between the glove and the rib cage. 6 would be, between the blocker and the rib cage, and then the 8 would basically be between anything that goes above the head on the shoulder pad, but not in the corner. To me, you're kind of splitting hairs. So when I talk about, he was aiming for this hole or that hole, it's just an area of the net based on where the goalie is positioned that the shooter is attempting to put the ball into the back of the net of. So, and there's all sorts of interesting metrics. Like if you really want to, you fans back home in Great Britain, if you want to get into the interesting metrics of goaltending, just Google YouTube, not Google YouTube, go on YouTube and search for the term goalie holes scoring percentage. And there's all sorts of interesting metrics about NHL and hockey in general in terms of like, well, where do people score? And you will end up finding that part of the reason the butterfly was developed was the majority of goals back in the 60s, 70s, 80s were going in low. So they developed the butterfly to take that away. Now the majority of the goals either get scored blocker middle or glove high. And that one goes in the back of the net. Well, that was a nice shot. You hear some cheers are up from the Canadian bench, right? You can argue, well, you're cheering for you up 17-0. They're not cheering that they're up 17-0, right? They're cheering that it was just a great shot, right? Look at that. And then Beatty was able to bury the rebound. Because from my vantage point, you didn't have much to look at. The ball made it through. And, you want to lift your teammates up, right? It's no disrespect to Great Britain. Canada and all the other teams that have played Great Britain have been nothing but respectful to them. Nice move there by number 95, Baudin, over to White, back to Baudin. I think Elliott got a stick on that as we approach 2:45 remaining. And so now that we're close to wrapping this one up, right? Some of you players, Canada makes it 19-0 here. Some of you players, some of you people back home up, you're wondering, what the heck, man? Canada's still running 1,000,000 miles an hour, taking one-timers, setting things up. Listen, this is not about bad sportsmanship or trying to embarrass anybody. This is about continuing to play with good habits. It's as simple as that. And if you've ever coached sports, especially youth sports, you do not want bad habits to creep in. So at the end of the day, Canada and Great Britain's going to shake hands, and you're going to see nothing but outstanding sportsmanship between Canada and Great Britain. Believe me, we are all thankful to have Great Britain here. We hope to have at least 3 more member nations along their skill set in 2026 so that we can have a B division. Cormier has it. And then the other thing too about good habits, right, is so there's 25 players on Canada's roster. Not all 25 are having outstanding tournaments, right? They're not all playing at the top of their game. So on an individual perspective, every player knows that there are certain aspects of their game that have been lacking thus far through 3 games. So they want to come out here, right, and try and correct those things and work on them. And again, it's nothing to do with being disrespectful or poor sportsmanship for Great Britain, right? You want to get better. You're trying to win a gold medal, right? It's so hard to get here. It's so hard to just get invited to a camp. It's so hard to perform well at the camp, to get selected, right? To stay healthy. You got to eat well. You got to train, right? You got to make travel arrangements. You got to, and this is Legends. So you got to deal with family, right? There's work issues, all that stuff. So by the time you get here, you owe it to yourself to perform the best you can because you put in so much work. But most importantly, you owe it to your team because the team expects each individual to contribute in their role. It's no different on an NHL team, right? Everybody has a role to play. So if you played 3 games now, wow, it's a nice waffle save there by Elliott. You play 3 games now and you feel like you're just not passing the way you should be, yeah, you're going to take this opportunity against the lesser team. You're going to make sure that you improve your passing skills. Or if you're one of the shooters on the team and you've been missing the net, you've been taking some extra reps. And then when you get in the game, right, you're going to make sure that you're hitting the net. And so you approach less than 30 seconds left here. So, again, credit to Canada. This game should finish up 19-0 here. All the credit in the world to Great Britain. You'll see nothing but great sportsmanship after the game. So that should do it. Canada is going to advance to the semifinals. At a minimum, they will play.